Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the vlog. I don't know why I'm vlogging currently because I don't have enough storage. I already edited the last video and I don't have enough storage to save it. So I really, instead of creating new content, need to be deleting old stuff off my phone. But here we are. I have something to say. Welcome back. I know I already said that, but I was thinking this morning, just had my check-ins, whatever. And I'm like, okay, I feel good. Like, I think we can get to a place where we're in better condition for Emerald than we were for the Arnold. And then get to a place where we're just like lights out for Legion. And I was thinking, whatever video, 2 videos ago, I said something about like never being as lean as Amber. And I was like, I'm never gonna be as lean as Amber, and I've accepted that. And I was thinking like, why? Why would I accept that? Like, what's the point of accepting that? And now I am obviously a natural athlete, so like there is something to be said about like how lean can you really get naturally. However, I think of this one specific girl, Cassandra Grippy. I've talked about her before, but she turned pro in figure at Universe last year. We first saw her at the Memphis show last year, and I remember I saw her on stage. I took a picture of her and I sent it to Ruben, and I was like, this figure chick, like this is the most conditioned I've ever seen, like an amateur figure girl. And when I say amateur, I mean not a national show, right? Because everybody at national shows is peeled, and they're all amateurs, but they're all like contending for pro cards, right? So some of them are going to end their day as pros, right? So I meant like at an amateur show, not a national qualifier, I just mean a straight up amateur, like not a pro qualifier is what I mean. So anyway, I remember being like, damn, this chick is peeled. Then she competed at Junior USA's like 2 weeks later or the next weekend. Obviously she was still peeled. She missed her pro card, I think, by 1 spot. Then maybe 4 or 5 or however long it is from Junior USA's to Junior Nats, she's even more peeled, missed her pro card by 1 spot again. Then she goes to Universe again, 3, 4, 5. I don't know the time difference between all these shows. She goes to Universe again, absolutely insane, even more peeled, wins her pro card. But this girl, now I'm assuming she is still natural. She was previously the OCB, which is the Natural Federation. She was the OCB figure champion, like whatever theirs is called. I forget what it's called, the Yorton Cup. That's like the OCB's Olympia. Like it's the show you have to qualify for by winning a show. She was the OCB figure champion. So I know at least up until that point she was natural, and there was like a lot of people commenting, like people I think in her camp, like that made me feel like she was still natural. So I'm just thinking like, why can't you get that peeled? Like there's nothing, just because you haven't been that peeled and just because it's probably going to take like a lot more work from you to get that peeled, and maybe you're not going to be that peeled by Legion or by Adela, but there's nothing that says that I cannot get to a crazy level of conditioning. There's nothing that says that other than myself, right? So anyway, I just want to say whatever limiting beliefs that you have, they are your own personal beliefs, and they will become self-fulfilling prophecies. Like what you believe is what you become. So if I say I'm never going to be as lean as Amber, then I'm already setting myself up to never achieve that. But if I say, why not? Yes, I am going to be that lean. And again, I'm going to behave in a way that says I believe that can be true for myself, then I can, right? So anyway, whatever you've told yourself you can't do, that you've accepted the fact that you can't do or you won't be, it's a lie. You can do whatever you want. Good morning, everybody. It is Sunday, March 30th. Reagan, what's going on back there? What are you putting in your mouth that you're not supposed to put in your mouth? Reagan's in her crossing guard vest. So again, I should still not be filming content. Like I've tried so hard to not film content, even though I've wanted to film some stuff because I've had things to say. We went to this big posing seminar at Wolfpack headquarters yesterday. But I have no storage and I keep trying to delete stuff and I still don't have enough storage. So I don't know why I'm filming. Anyway, Sunday, which means it's routine day. It's like almost 11 o'clock in the morning, so I'm sure the room's not going to be empty, but I'm not running a full out today. I'm just doing sections, so I don't really care that much. I did get some feedback from Sandy yesterday, so I said I'm not changing this routine at all before my next shows. I am changing it based on her feedback. They're very small, minor changes, but I think they're going to make a difference, and I think they're going to help me. Reagan, I think they're going to help me close the gap, and even Reagan, I think they're going to help me close the gap on Amber. Or, obviously depending on the panel, I think it could help me like win that routine round at Legion. So that's what we're doing today. I have been doing a little bit of cardio this past week, but now like starting today, even though technically Friday is the beginning of my split, starting today, like after my routine practice, I am going to get back to like my athlete games style training. So what I was doing all last year during prep, like running multiple HIIT workouts a week, even if they're just 20 minutes, and then finishing the rest of my cardio on the treadmill or the Stairmaster. I just think that got me not only in good condition, but also in good shape for my routine. So right now I'm going to run my routine practice, maybe spend 45 minutes to an hour running routine. Reagan, 45 to an hour on routine. And then maybe I'll run like a 20-minute burn boot camp, like burn on demand HIIT workout, and then another probably 30 minutes walking on the treadmill. And then we have other stuff to do today, but that'll get me to my 2 hours at Powerhouse. So anyway, hopefully by the end of today, I'll have deleted enough stuff to get my other video up so that I can resume filming as usual. So I will talk about my feedback. To be honest, you guys, I know I normally share my feedback, but I also want to win. Period. I'm not going to lie. I also want to win. And I already have told everybody I'm not changing my routine. So they've already seen my routine. And yes, I am making small changes, but I also need to be smart about my strategy. And if I'm already telling you, okay, you've already seen my routine, and also here's my feedback, so these are the places that I'm going to improve, that all that's doing is setting other people up to beat me, right? And I want to win. So like I said, I'm not changing the routine other than like some small pieces to reflect the feedback that I've gotten from Sandy. But like I said, I think I'll talk more about my feedback like after Adela, if I remember. Good morning, everybody. Monday, March 31st, still filming content when I don't have enough storage. It's fine. We'll figure it out. These are the new lashes. They suck. They definitely look better on day 2, but look how straight, like they look like I have long, thin eyelashes and I need to wear mascara. Compared to the other ones, I felt like the way that they looked ready. Like they were ready as is. Anyway. Sorry, Reagan. I didn't mean to say that word. Anyway, I'm dealing with it. Luckily, I didn't buy a big pack of them. Like normally I buy them in like 100 pack. But these I bought in like a 20, 40 pack maybe. So I'm going to run out of them. I mean, not anytime soon because I replace them like every 4-ish days. So I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I have to move on from the lashes because it is what it is. Headed to Powerhouse. I changed my split, you guys. I've had enough. So I am doing back 3 days a week. I'm doing shoulders twice a week. I'm still only doing legs once a week. However, the caveat is that on one of my shoulder days, I'm going to add one quad movement because I'm doing, I can't remember exactly what it is. I have to like look at it. Maybe I'll put it on the screen or something. Anyway, I'm doing like no quads. It's all like hamstrings and glutes. It's like RDLs, maybe a Bulgarian split squat and hip thrust. Like there's really nothing that could even kind of be quads as well. So I am adding one quad movement because my split before, even though it was mostly posterior chain focused, you know, a Bulgarian split squat, you're still going to get some quads out of it. Like whatever the exercises were, I remember thinking like, okay, there's nothing directly quad, but I will get quads. Whatever it is now, so maybe there is no Bulgarian split squat, whatever it is now, I'm like, oh, if I want to get any quad, I have to add a quad exercise. So I'm just going to do one single leg extension on another day because that was one thing Sandy told me. That is a piece of feedback I will share about my physique. She said more quad sweep, which is crazy because I've never had that feedback before. And maybe I've talked about, I'll know when I'm editing this if I've talked about this. I know I talked about it with a couple of people, but I don't think I actually talked about it with YouTube. I've never ever received feedback on my legs that I need to increase them or improve them. So I was actually pretty excited to hear that she said maybe a little bit more quad sweep, because what I was telling the people that I shared my feedback with originally was like, that tells me that finally the shape of my upper body is catching up, because I used to be so bottom heavy that they would just say more back width, more back width, more back width, more back density, more back width, more back density. Like that's all they would tell me. And now I finally, she didn't even say more back width. She said more back density and more quad sweep. And I'm like, oh my gosh, do I finally have the shape? I finally have a semi-proportional upper body that she's actually telling me, you know what, a little bit more on the lower body. So I am lit about that. I'm not lit about having to add leg extensions back into my life, but I am lit over the fact that my shape is getting there. And I think that's evidenced in the, in my Arnold photos. Like, I think my shape at the Arnold was the best my shape has ever looked. So, and I mentioned that, like, it wasn't my best conditioning, but it was by far my best look. And that to me is largely due to the shape. My shoulders are finally catching up. I finally did not get shoulder feedback, y'all. God, what a dream. Finally didn't get shoulder feedback. And she did say, after she emailed me, she said, your conditioning looks good in the photos. She said, but, you know, probably hair more conditioning. So, I mean, that's a given, obviously. So, anyway, I'm really excited. Another day down, or another day starting, I should say. We're 5 weeks out from Emerald. Again, 9 weeks out from Legion, which is the show that we're really trying to, like, Legion is the show, right? Emerald is just trying to win some money, get some stage experience. Go ahead, sir. Win some money, get some stage experience, and really just keep myself accountable and on track to be where I need to be for Legion. So anyway, hopefully by the end of today, which today is Monday, I'll have my other video. Reagan says today is Thursday. Reagan, you don't know what day it is. It's her first day of spring break, so we're spending all day together. Anyway, hopefully that video will be uploaded, but I'm excited. I'm hungry. I'm training. You have Disneyland on Wednesday. I'm training fasted today, back and hamstrings. It's back with, so what, I'm doing 2 back days in a row. I don't think I specified this. I do 2 back days in a row. One is width and one is depth, or whatever, density. So I want to say today is width and hamstrings and glutes today. So I don't know. We're gonna find out when I open my phone notes. Good afternoon, everybody. It's Tuesday, April 1st. It's April Fool's Day. I haven't done any tricks or anything on people because I don't have it in me. So I did finally, obviously by the time this video is uploaded, you will know this already, but just speaking in real time, I did finally get enough storage cleared out to upload my other video. So that's going up today. Sorry about the delay. Excuse me. You don't look like you're looking where you're going. Sorry. So anyway, Reagan has been at my mom's all day today. I'm going to go pick her up. We're going to go do fun stuff. She's on spring break. I promised her yesterday that I would take her to this, like, it's like an indoor playground type place here that she likes to go to. I really was like, you don't want to go to Sky Zone because she has a Sky Zone pass. But no, she wants to go to this other place where I have to pay to get in, but whatever, it is what it is. So I really would like to go work out first so that I could just be done with the workout. But this place closes pretty early, so like we don't actually really have time for me to work out first. Well, we have time for me to lift first, but I don't want to lift, then go do this thing, and then go back and do cardio. Like, I just would rather just go start with this place, and then go work out. So anyway, sorry, I feel like my eyelash or something's coming off. Anyway, prep update. I mean, nothing really. There's no update. I'm just getting back into doing regular cardio. I have started training for athlete games. Y'all, the workout that I did this morning nearly took me out. Now, granted, I did do it fasted, and not only fasted, but also Kool-Aid rice. It's been a while since I've had that. Not only fasted, but also after taking yohimbine, which I think also brings your heart rate up. Because I'm like just standing there and I'm like, I'm not even doing anything. Why is my heart rate at 100? So I don't know. I'm just going to have to do more training. And obviously, like, by the time Athlete Games comes, that's the middle of the summer. So if you are new here, Athlete Games is like a workout competition that we do with all the trainers in Burn Boot Camp. It's optional. I did it last year, but this competition was like 2 weeks out from Van Pro. So your girl was like on no carbs. I was so depleted. I was dead doing this workout and I nearly died. So anyway, this year I didn't really want to do it because the workouts looked, honestly, they looked harder than I wanted to work. Like, I know that sounds bad, but I was just like, I don't have this in me. But I was like, well, I'm not going to be dieting at that point during the summer because by that point, it's in mid-August. Like by that point, I'll be done with my qualifier shows. I will ideally be qualified and I'll be a couple months out from the Olympia. So even if I am starting prep at that point or had just started prep at that point, I won't be hungry like I was last year. So anyway, so I was like, you know what? I feel like I owe it to myself to try it again. And see like how well can you do if you're fed and really training. I mean, I was really training for it, but like training for a long time because I didn't start training this early for it last year. So anyway, I think training for that in addition to like my normal cardio is really going to help me bring in some really good conditioning for these upcoming shows. So anyway, I expect to my digestion has been kind of wacko. I think it's all these carbonated drinks because we got like diet sodas and sparkling water. So I've been drinking like no regular water. I've had like 32 ounces of regular water each day. And then the rest like sparkling water or diet soda. It's been out of control. So I think that's why my stomach has been doing the most. Anywho, water's back under control, but my digestion has been kind of weird, so my weight's a little bit up. I'm like still in the 134, so I'm like, wow, really? Like not even the 133s? So I don't know that I'll be down to 132 by my check-in on Friday, but I should at least be back in the 133s again. And then after that, I think the next 4 weeks after that, like we'll see, we'll see the numbers and we'll see the physique drop again. I do feel pretty good currently right now. I have had a headache the last few days, but it's going away. So anywho, I'm here to pick up my daughter. Then we have to go play And then I have back day, number 2. I did back width and hamstrings yesterday, which was a great workout. And then now I'm doing back density today. And then I'm going to go to burn boot camp and do cardio. So anyway, that's all. I'll see you guys afterwards. Okay, so picked up Reagan, Chef Reagan. We're at this like play place. It's like a bunch of rooms. So this is like the kitchen area. That room right there is like a karaoke place. This is the gym, and this stuff like really works. I mean, that obviously is like styrofoam, but this little bike really works. There's a rock climbing area. There's all sorts of stuff. It's just like an indoor, that's the art area. So there's coloring and stuff. Anyway, there's like a whole other side, but
you can watch.
It's just
your number's
an indoor. My number's 28. Okay, it's just an indoor play place that she likes to come. So we're here, and then we are gonna go. I had to move around the schedule a little bit. Okay, I spilled my tea, my wine. Anyway, Reagan, thank you, and my coffee. Thank you so much. Okay, so the original plan was take her here, then go to Powerhouse, then go to burn boot camp for cardio. But it just took longer to get out of my mom's house when I picked her up. And this place, thank you, Reagan. This place closes at 5, so we had to come here first. That was like a non-negotiable. We had to come here first. However, the last boot camp is at 5:30, so like if we don't go to boot camp first, we're gonna run out of time. So anyway, nobody cares. All I'm letting y'all know is that we're here playing. She's about to make me food. She's already made me food. Pizza. The only pizza that I can eat. Then cardio. Then lift. Oh, good afternoon, everybody. My ears are so cold. It's 61 degrees outside. Hey, Reagan, can you sing that song when I'm done, please? Thank you. It's 61 degrees outside, which doesn't sound that cold, but I have this thing, like, I don't know if this happens to other people, but if I go running, like, if I'm running outside in the cold, my ears will, like, freeze, and it feels like it's almost like a brain freeze, right? Like, you know when you eat something really cold, like that feeling that you have like in your brain, that's what I feel like, but it's like right here. Anyway, all that to say, so I went to boot camp for cardio, and there was a lot of running today, and 61 doesn't sound cold, but I guess for me it was like way too cold, and I feel like I'm frozen to death. So anyway, now I am headed to Powerhouse. And I'm gonna hit back day, do a little bit of skills, and also just like finish the remainder of my cardio. Reagan, her witch costume, and also just finish the remainder of my cardio. So I have decided, I don't know if I've actually decided, but now that I'm in athlete games training, like unofficially, I just like decided on a whim that I want to compete in athlete games again, right? So I talked about that. So now I'm like, well, I got to train for it. I was like, maybe I want to do an athlete games prep series. Like, I don't know, I think that would be kind of fun. Like for people who are really interested in the training part. Like I know that most of my bodybuilding followers, like, or like people who follow me for my bodybuilding prep series, don't necessarily care to see the training. I mean, honestly, for me, I don't really care to see people's training. For most people, I fast forward through their training videos unless they're like talking throughout it, you know, etc. But I also feel like it would be really cool to document my training for athlete games, like specifically like this is where I'm starting, these are the workouts that I'm doing, here's how I'm getting better and preparing for athlete games. And then especially once I'm done with bodybuilding for the summer, my nutrition and how I'm eating to fuel my athlete game prep. So anyway, I don't know if I want to do like a separate series, like a Reels series maybe, or shorts, whatever they have on YouTube, like just so y'all can see the training, or I don't know. I'm just talking. I don't really need to be adding on more vlog series into my life. It's really for myself, like to document how my training is going and how I'm feeling each day, blah, blah, blah. But sorry, I'm having a conversation with people. Anyway, that's it. I'm going to go hit back day, do some skills, finish my cardio. And maybe, love you. Maybe start a new series. Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, April 2nd. Have I already filmed this morning? No, that was my Wednesday waffle. Okay, so I'm going to talk about Wednesday waffle really fast. So if you've never heard of Wednesday waffle, me and some of my friends do this. I do this with like a few different people. So it's this like thing. I don't know what the word is, but it's like a way to maintain relationships, basically. So obviously each of us has people that we talk to very often, like every day or every other day or things like that, right? But a lot of us have friends and family, like we have relationships with people that we do have good relationships with, but we don't talk to them very often, or we've lost touch or whatever it is, right? So it's basically like a short weekly video. It's Wednesdays, it doesn't have to be Wednesdays, but we do ours on Wednesdays. Short weekly video where you just check in with each other just to catch up. So you can keep in touch, keep up to date without having to talk every single day. So I do it with a few different people. So I do it with my best friend Tasha, who was my maid of honor. We don't see each other very often, maybe once or twice a year if we're lucky. I do it with another group of friends who I was in their wedding. They were in my wedding, like just another group of friends that we all live in various parts of the country. And then I do it with my little brother. So each one is like a little bit different. With my, sorry, I just got charged from the Hilton in Columbus. I literally just got a notification that I got charged from the Hilton in Columbus. So I wonder what that's for. Anyway, I'll come back to this. Okay, so like with my little brother, we do happies, crappies, things we're looking forward to. So something that was great during the week, something that maybe wasn't great during the week, and then again, something we're looking forward to. My friend Tasha, she doesn't do this all the time, but she does like eating, treating, and recommending, or like sometimes she does like what she's reading. So like some sort of food or snack that she found that's really good. A treating is like, you know, just a way that she's like pouring into herself. And then recommending, sometimes it's a book, sometimes it's like a product, like whatever. And then my other friends, we kind of just like, this is what's going on. This is what has going on in the last week. So it's a lot of fun because they're like 2-minute videos. They don't require a conversation. Like maybe you respond back to like you send your video and then they send their video, and then maybe you have like one response back, but it doesn't necessarily have to turn into this long conversation because, you know, we're all very busy. And so like, you just don't have time to have hour-long conversations with every single person that you care about every single day, right? So anyway, if you have friends that you want to do the Wednesday waffle with, you should. All of that to say is I was thinking, did I film this morning? But I didn't film YouTube. I filmed my Wednesday waffle. I trained this morning. Reagan is going to Disneyland with my mom, so she's already with my mom. And I have the rest of the day off, well, until the afternoon. But like normally on Wednesdays, I train. Do I have a flat tire? No. Okay, it's the road. I train. I like maybe can go do cardio, and then I hustle home to get Reagan, get her ready for school, take her to school. And then I go to the gym. I quickly try to squeeze my entire workout in, and then I have to go pick her up and we go immediately back to work. But because I don't have to do that today, I'm going to go home. I'm going to eat a meal. Then I'm going to go to the gym, do my full lift, my full cardio, my whole thing. I can spend 2+ hours in the gym and then still have time to come home, rest, relax, kick it, do whatever I want to do. I got to get my oil changed, before I have to go back to work this afternoon. So love spring break. Love that my mom has a Disneyland pass with Reagan, and then she's willing to take her for a couple of days. Sorry, this person. Anyway, to be honest, I don't really actually have anything to add other than I was just telling you guys what I'm going to do. We're 4 weeks out, pretty much. In 2 days, we'll be 4 weeks out, which 4 weeks was where my body really started changing for the Arnold. So I'm excited about like what's about to happen. I would love to see my conditioning come in. I'm going to put a photo from Toronto Pro 2021, the year that I won it. I'm going to put a photo from that. And that's that, in my opinion, is the most lean I have ever been on stage. And that's the look that I want to bring. I would love to bring it to Emerald, but at the very minimum, bring it to Legion and Adela. If I can bring that conditioning to Legion, I think I can have a good chance to keep up with or pass Amber in the physique round. So we're going to see what the body does. Ruben and I were talking last night just like about the weight targets that we think we're going to hit. So we're thinking like, okay, maybe 127 by Emerald, which I'm like in the 133, 134 right now. But you know, obviously peak week is like a 2-pound drop. So maybe 127 by Emerald. And I told him I'm looking for like 125 by Legion, which is extra. I have not been 125, you guys, in a decade or more. It's going to be ambitious, but I think we can do it. And I just keep thinking like of where people ranked at the Olympia last year. I really think that I have a chance to do better in physique than I have done in the past. So anyway, I was watching Legion last night on the Center Podium app, and I'm just like, I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. That's how you have to speak to yourself. So Anywho, that's the Wednesday morning. Gonna go home, eat, work out, live my life while my daughter lives her life. Y'all, my schedule got all messed up. So, as we all know, Reagan's at Disneyland. Love that. So, I scheduled a hair appointment for today. I normally schedule my hair appointments on Fridays. So I drop her off at school. I go for my 11:30 appointment. I'm done by 1:30, and I'm like hustling to get her to school. But I wanted to get a haircut. As we know, Andrea's been talking about cutting her hair. So I was like, oh, I'll do it when Reagan is at Disneyland. So I scheduled it for today, which is Wednesday. And I forgot about it. Clearly, when I told y'all about all the things I was going to do today, I never said anything about getting my hair done. So I go home, I take this long ass nap. It was amazing. First off, my schedule was already getting jumbled around because I took a nap. I was like, you know what? Let's sleep and rest now and do all of the things later instead of my original plan, which was do all of the things now and sleep and rest later. So I wake up to this text message. It's like, you've been marked as a no-show. I'm like, shoot. So I text the lady and I'm like, I'm so sorry. I forgot this appointment was today. I thought it was on Friday. Can I still come and just not get the haircut? Because the way that it's scheduled in the app that you schedule in, technically I have a 10:30 appointment and an 11:30 appointment. I have 10:30 to 11:30 for a haircut and 11:30 to 1:30 for a blowout. The 11:30 to 1:30 is always it's the same appointment I always take, right? So I'm thinking, well, it's not even 11:30 yet. So maybe I can just show up for the 11:30 appointment and not do the haircut and just like be marked as a no-show for the 10:30. She says no, and she has to mark me as a canceled appointment. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm thinking, are you serious? Like, I technically didn't miss my second appointment, but I'm not a hairstylist. I don't know how they budget their time. Like, again, in the app, it's 2 different appointments, but maybe when she sees these appointments come through at the same time, there's like she has some sort of time budgeting, or like, okay, well, this appointment is actually only going to take 2.5 hours. Like, I don't know, maybe because, what am I trying to say? Okay, normally it's a 2-hour appointment, 11:30 to 1:30, but maybe when she adds on the haircut, she's like, well, the haircut's not really going to take an hour, but it's blocked for an hour. So if this appointment is going to start at 10:30, it's going to be over by 1, and maybe she has an appointment at 1. Like, maybe there's some other reason why I can't come in. Either way, I was a little bit irritated, but it is what it is. I'm going in tomorrow. So now I'm not getting my hair done, which in my mind, I never was getting my hair done today. But I'm at the gym. I finally did put away my suitcase from the Arnold. I know that gives some of you guys the heebie-jeebies, knowing that it's April 2nd, and today I put my suitcase back from the Arnold. I need to declutter, because the fact that I can go that long and there were clothes in that suitcase that I never took out, and they weren't like, yes, like my suits and costumes, but they were also just clothes. Like, Andrea, you shouldn't have enough clothes to like not have to do laundry for a month. I've done laundry obviously, but anyway, drinking my pre-workout, parking lot pimping right now, drinking my Eminent Nutrition Pump. I only had 1 scoop left, so I put my Burn Boot Camp Pink Lemonade Ignite in here as well, because I'm not about to be like it's too much. I have shoulders, and then hit like a Burn Athlete Game style training workout, and then I'll just finish my cardio on the treadmill or the stairs. Depends on how much time. I have to get my oil changed today, you guys. I've been saying I need to get my oil changed for months. You guys, this light has been on. I'm sure my engine's going to explode soon. I don't have time for that. Because this car is paid off, and I have no interest in ruining it because I'm too lazy to go get a drive-through oil change. So I'm going to do that, even if that means cutting my cardio short and going to get my oil changed. 15-minute instant oil change. I also would like to get an adjustment, but I don't want to get too greedy with the things that I'm planning today. Too ambitious, I should say. So I'll cut my cardio short if I have to, because I could finish cardio after I train this afternoon. I know I normally don't do it. I always say, like, I could do that, but I also normally have Reagan. Today, Reagan's staying at a hotel with her grandma. She thinks it's the coolest thing. I told her she already knew she got to go to Disneyland, but I was like, yeah, you get to stay at a hotel with grandma. She's like, it's so freaking sweet. I love it. Anyway, I'm going to finish this, sit here for 5 more minutes, and then go get a fat, juicy shoulder pump. Can we all just take a moment for the fact that I did not get feedback on my shoulders? Would you look at God? Okay, so just worked out, sat in the car and ate my meal. I feel like I didn't eat anything. Like, I just ate 5 minutes ago. And I feel like I haven't eaten in hours. This is crazy. It's all this freaking extra activity. It's not extra activity. It's extra from what I've been doing, but it's like my normal prep activity, right? Plus, I guess a little bit more intensity on the cardio, just because I'm doing now Burn Athlete Games training, which really just means I'm working harder in my HIIT training, because I was always doing HIIT training, but I wasn't doing it every single time, and I wasn't doing the type of HIIT training that I'm doing right now, which is always going to be weighted now. I was doing some body weight conditioning, I was doing like agility type training, but now it's always going to be with dumbbells. So like yesterday, you guys, I burned 3,000 calories yesterday. For the record, like my average is low 2000s, 21, 22 on like a day that I'm just like out in these streets. So I was like wondering, like, why am I so hungry? And then I saw that I had burned 3,000 calories by the time I was in bed. I was like, this is crazy town. So we're going to see what the body does. Hopefully Ruben's going to feed me more. We're still on only carbs in the pre-workout meal. So I don't know. We're going to see what my body does, I guess, before we make the next adjustment. But anyway, that's not what I'm here for. This Justin, Ben Weider just posted the qualification rules. They're like, okay, you can now officially register for Ben Weider Naturals. So the discussion before was you have to win a natural pro show to qualify for Ben Weider Naturals, which qualifies you for the Olympia. We already knew that, but I was like, there's not really that many natural pro shows. Like, are we just like accepting the fact that this show is literally going to have 3 or 4 competitors per division? And then I'm like, maybe they will do previous winners. Either, I'm thinking maybe they'll do top 5 from last year. Maybe they'll do top 3 from last year, like, which is what they do for the Olympia, previous year's top 3. So I'm thinking maybe they'll do top 3 or top 5. They'll at least, I assume, do previous year's winner. But hopefully they'll do top 3 and top 5, top 3 or top 5, plus the winners of the natural pro shows. So anyway, and I know Danielle DaCosta was like, I'm hoping that they also like let previous years, like not just last year's winner, like maybe if you won 2-3 years ago, whatever. Like, again, just to make the show a little bit bigger. They just posted today, it's last year's winner only and winners of pro shows, natural pro shows. So that means Jessica Z is qualified. Currently, she's the only one that's qualified. The Emerald Cup winner will be qualified. The Canada Natural Pro, whatever it's called, will be qualified. And maybe the France Natural Pro winner. That show is only 2 weeks before Ben Weider. So I don't even know if they are using that as a qualification for this year's Ben Weider, or if it will qualify for next year's Ben Weider. Because again, if it were run like the Olympia, there's going to be a time cutoff. And the time cutoff is definitely going to be more than 2 weeks ahead of time. We also have to think of that France show is in France. So I'm just thinking, if I'm a competitor in this France show and I want to do Ben Weider, I'm not gonna know that if I'm qualified for Ben Weider until 2 weeks before the show, and I have to fly across the world now to do this show. So I don't know what year France qualifies for. Let's be generous and let's say it qualifies for this year's, and the person has all their flights, their travel booked, right? 4 competitors in the entire division. Which, as the natural whatever stream gets bigger, obviously the hope is that more promoters are offering these natural pro qualifiers. But it's like, I don't know, kind of wacko. I mean, maybe I'll finally win Ben Weider. There's only 4 competitors. Right, this is assuming I win Emerald Cup. But I always look like shit at Ben Weider. Like, Ben Weider is historically my worst showing of the year. Actually, that's not true. Ben Weider 2021 at the time of competing was my best showing. And then my next show, Toronto, was my next best showing, of the season. But then the last 2 times I've done Ben Weider, it's been my worst showing of the season. So maybe this year, again, assuming I win Emerald Cup, maybe this year I'm going to kill it at Ben Weider and win a qualification, which would be amazing, y'all. If I can win a qualification for next year's Olympia at Ben Weider, and then be able to take so much time off so I can build my back, that would be amazing. Even though, like, of course, I probably want to do the Arnold, even though there's, like, some talks about the Arnold changing their divisions. But I don't know. I'm getting way ahead of myself. All I know is that Ben Weider is going to be tiny, which is what it is. Still Wednesday. Y'all, I am tired as hell. I just trained. Training wasn't, like, extremely tiring. Actually, training was pretty easy today. I'm just tired. Like, I did not get a lot of sleep last night. It's crazy because I feel like 5 to 6 hours is kind of standard for me. Look at this. What's it called? Golden hour. This lighting is everything. What was I saying? 5 to 6 hours is very standard for me. However, I have been being more intentional about getting more sleep. And since I've been getting more sleep, or I've been trying to get more and better sleep, 5 to 6 hours is a nightmare. I just feel so tired. And then obviously, like I mentioned earlier, now that I'm doing more cardio and more high intensity cardio, my body, I'm just tired. So anyway, all that to say, I still have 30 more minutes of cardio. And I don't really want to go to Powerhouse. I would like to just be done with, I just want to be done with my night. I want to eat my last meal and I want to go to sleep early because I have to train another early tomorrow. Tomorrow's normally the day that I train all day long. I get to sleep in, but I train all day. However, me and the early morning trainer, she needed a sub. She basically needed a swap. So I'm training early for her, but now I'll be off at 11, which is great because I got to get my hair done. But it does mean another day of waking up early when I normally get to sleep in on that day. So anyway, I am going to go. I'm not going to go to Powerhouse. I don't have Powerhouse in me. I'm just going to go to the apartment gym, get on the treadmill for 30 minutes. I have a couple vlogs to catch up on. I have a couple things that I wanted to listen to and watch. Plus Ruben's not home, and the way that I feel right now, I know that if I were to go home right now, I would eat more than just my meal because like my last meal, I ate it and I was immediately hungry. I'm so hungry right now. I need to do cardio first. And I need to like get home at the time that I need to eat, get ready for bed, and go to bed. Like I don't need to have any spare moments kicking it at my apartment by myself right now. So I have mentioned like previously, like I'm in there, I have a good mindset, I'm locked in, but I also have the self-awareness to know like when I'm having moments that will be a little questionable, and right now it's a moment. So anyway, I won't be doing that. I'm going to get my booty on that treadmill. Anyway, that's it, you guys. I'm not going to check in again, probably until check-in Friday. Maybe I'll check in after I get my hair cut tomorrow. I'll let you know if she charged me a cancellation fee. Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Happy check-in day. It is March 4th. It is April 4th. Just left the gym from training, and now I am headed home. I got a couple things to do, and then I will pick up Reagan from my mom. That girl lived her best life the last couple days at Disneyland. My mom sent me so many photos and videos. I love it. I just love that she gets to do that. Let's talk check-ins. First of all, my digestion is a horrible nightmare. I have not been pooping. Like I have been, but I haven't been. Like I've been going, but not the way I need to. Anyway, I got a haircut, by the way. I just remembered by looking in it's not that much shorter. Ruben's like, oh, you made it seem like you were going to chop your hair off. I was like, no, I didn't. I just said I need to cut my hair. It is significantly shorter. It's like 4 inches shorter. But now none of my hair is see-through, right? Like my ends were all see-through because they were so freaking dead. So she asked me like, how much do you want to cut off? I said, as much as I need to cut off to get rid of the dead ends, lady. I do not care. I don't care if you give me a bob. And I know that's like triggering for some people, like specifically black people. I remember I cut my hair. Now, y'all, this is not what I'm here to talk about. I remember cutting my hair, like chopping my hair in high school, and the black community at school was traumatized because like, I don't know, in like the black culture, there's like a lot of hair. I don't know how to explain it, but basically like cutting my hair was a big deal because it was like, black people don't have long hair. So if you have long hair, like why would you cut it? But just genetically, I just have always had long hair, and my hair is going to grow back. It always grows back. My hair grows like freaking weeds. My mom used to get like pixie cuts. Is that what they're called? Pixie, like the Halle Berry. And like 6 months later, her hair would be down here again. So plus I think short hair is cute. Anyway, doesn't matter. All that to say is I said, I don't care how much you cut, just so I want it to be healthy. I don't want it to look stringy. Okay. Check-ins. Poop. That's what I was talking about. I've been going, but not like, you know, when you go and you're like, okay, it's done. My bowels are empty. I've not been feeling like that. Like I've been going, but I've been semi-constipated and just not like ever feeling like that's the end of it, right? So anyway, I didn't go. I haven't gone like all week. I was 134.2. I'm super irritated because I'm like, I know that I should be probably in the low 133s or even in the 132s. Because remember, you guys, my current low is 133.1. So I'm like, I feel like I should be in the 132s. But I'm not. But it is what it is. My photos look good. And they look 1%, which is all I need, 1% sharper than they did last week, which is good because I did increase my cardio a little bit this week, but I'm still not even doing an hour a day. Yes, I am doing the burn athlete games, like the HIIT training a little bit more often, but I'm still not even hitting an hour a day. And like leading up to the Arnold, I was not only doing an hour a day, but some days, depending on my HIIT training, I was doing more than an hour a day. So I still feel like there's a lot of room for my body to sharpen. Sorry about the sliding. I feel like we still have a lot of room for my body to sharpen. Okay, that didn't help. There we go. For my body to sharpen up and get better before Emerald. And then again, we do another good hard 4-week push for Legion. So I feel like I'm in a good spot. I still have not done a routine like full out. But I'll probably at least run halves. I didn't run halves last week. I said I was going to run halves, and I think I ran thirds. I probably will at least run one of my halves this weekend. I probably won't do both halves, but probably that first half I'll do several times this weekend. And then by 3 weeks out, so next weekend at the very minimum, I need to be running a full out. I don't know if y'all remember last year between Van and Arizona, I only did like one full out. So this is still hopefully going to be more than that. I have been doing, again, a lot of sections, a lot of pieces, but I do just need to get my conditioning up to run the full out. But anyway, that's really it, you guys. Nothing really else to report back other than my weight's not going down, but my body is looking better and I'm feeling good. I posed a little bit last night, so I do need to get more posing. I emailed Sid to get on her posing calendar. Her May is super busy, so I don't know how many times I'll get to pose with her, but I at least need to hold myself accountable to my own posing. So anywho, that's all, y'all. I got a new flavor of Eminent Nutrition, which will be my first video. In the next video will be me tasting that new flavor. And other than that, I will see you guys next week.